Welcome back, and today what we're talking about for the first time in a while, because I have been extremely busy this week, is the banners coming up this weekend. So, Yuri. Yuri is the new Nightmare Piercer, and she is a bond unit with Kigiri. And then we also have the new Ancient exclusive Nightmare Lord. So between these two units, he's going to be on a Ancient banner, obviously being Ancient exclusive. Yuri is going to be on her on a normal 15 times. She is not a limited time unit, so she will be in the pool from here on out, which is a plus. And she looks interesting. She doesn't seem to have a niche herself, but a lot of people are not reading her kit right here, from what I understand. A lot of people are like, oh, this does 5 hits of 55% damage to one enemy in range. And whereas I get where everybody is coming from with that. It lasts 8 seconds. This is 5 hits of 55 damage per second for 8 seconds, and when skilled up, 10 seconds. That is a ton of DPS. Skilled up, it is 75% damage per second for 10 seconds. So let's pull out the calculator. That is 75 times 10, 750% damage. Very simple math, but still. That is 750% damage. That is a ton of burst over 10 seconds. So, there's that. Every 5 basic attacks, she does a talent here. I'm sure everybody has heard her kit ad nauseum at this point, so I'm not going to go over it too much. I just wanted to clarify that one big thing. Also, this range is like Aylin's heal range. Just Aylin is center of it, not at the edge. This is a very unique range, so that could definitely fill a very specific niche. What that is, I don't know at this time, but it is interesting. I can tell you that much. So she doesn't seem to be as OP as everybody was hoping. From the leaks, she sounded like she was going to be amazing. She does still seem like she's going to be really good. And that was okay. So she does have 9 tails, like a Kitsune would. Foxfire Kitsune. And her bond skill with what's his name, Kigiri, is obtain the hero Kigiri, which he is in limited time, so you can only obtain him when he's on banner. To unlock the bonus effect, Chaos Orb triggered by the talent deals 100% increased damage to the main target. After dealing damage, restores 10% HP to 2 friendly units within a 3-tile range of the Chaos Orb. This effect does not affect the hero's HP. So this pretty much does 260% damage instead of 160% damage. That's great. She doesn't have to, or he doesn't have to be on the board for her to get that. Solid. And her bond skill with Kigiri is pretty solid too. It does help him with survivability. He heals on or after his ult. So there's that. Artemis does also provide a very small niche in the anti-heal he provides. He's one of the best anti-heals in the game. He's also a very cool looking unit. I am fortunate enough to have him A1, but unfortunately I don't really have a use for him because he is a very cool looking unit and he does do some solid damage. He is a healer, but during his ult he does damage. I'm not going to go over his kit because he's old news. So those are those two, and let's go over and look at the Ancient Exclusive Lord. Nightmare Lord. So this guy has got a extremely complex kit. Pretty much his talent is hammer attack has a 20% chance to inflict stun on the target, and the axe attack has a 20% chance to inflict defense reduction. What does this look like? This is his basic attack has a chance of hitting with the axe or the hammer or both. 40% chance for each and a 20% chance for both. Both do 100% damage, and that means when he attacks with both, he is doing 200% damage. Plus skill ups, obviously. So, solid damage. He's a damage dealer. The Warlord's Might is him attacking with both weapons and has a chance to trigger talent effects. So, there's that. His ultimate makes it so that all of his attacks are turned into the Warlord's Might and doubles the chance of inflicting stun and defense reduction, putting this up to a 40% chance. Every 3 attacks, he does 200% extra damage, and 50% to up to 5 enemies nearby. Cool. He is... and lasts 25 seconds. Wow, I did not realize that on first initial look. And then the Earthquake damage goes up to... let's see, 300% and 70% damage for nearby targets. He's going to do damage. He's going to do solid damage. Warlord's Might, his attack with both, ignores 15% of the target's defense, and when it's triggered, it increases his attack by 2% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. This goes up to 5% and 5% defense penetration. I think this penetration is just for the Warlord's Might. Not positive, but who knows? And then his other passive is every 70 seconds, books down to, or skills down to 60 seconds, resists 1 instance damage, and when triggered increases his damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Each time he deals damage, this is reduced by 1 second. So you have him built very fast, and he'll be doing a ton of damage. His Lord skill, the first half of it is same as Torador. Excellent Lord skill, we all know that. Second part is quite different and potentially a little bit worse than Torador. And this is where a lot of people are a little upset. Pretty much when he triggers his ultimate, faction team members gain buffs. Basic attack damage increases by 25%, and each basic attack restores 3% HP. And the buff applies till the end of his ultimate. So 25 seconds, he's going to be just buffing up his faction units basic attack damage by 25%. This works really good for anybody in the Nightmare faction who does their basic attack for their ultimate. Twyla, this would be great for. Wukong, it would not be necessarily. It wouldn't be bad for him, but it wouldn't be great for him. Kigiri, it wouldn't be great for, but Kigiri is doing his basic attack a lot. Wukong is doing his basic attack a lot, so those two are great. Valera, she's doing her basic attack on her ultimate, so it's a straight bonus for her. Twyla, we already talked about. I think Arrogance's basic attack, it's counted as basic attack, so that's one thing. Lust, that is. Ares, I believe. So there's a lot of these units that do use their basic attack in their ultimate. But does that justify losing the 30% chance of their basic attack hitting twice? This is a 30% chance all the time of them just doing a double basic attack, whereas he, during his ult, will increase their basic attack by 25%. I'm probably going to say Torador is probably going to be the better Lord. Rygar, he's going to be an excellent damage dealer from what I can see. I don't have him. I can't test him. I don't have test server or anything like that, so I can only go on speculation. I haven't looked at too many videos of him being tested, so there's that. His awakenings look good from what I could tell. He looks like he's going to get very strong with his awakenings. But as a nightmare unit and ancient exclusive unit, I don't think he stacks up to units such as Praetus or Ingrid. There's a lot of ancient exclusive units that honestly are better, which is a bit disappointing because I was looking forward to him coming out. I was originally saving for him till I pulled Ingrid and Praetus, but Ymir serves more versatility than him. He seems to fill the same general niche as like an Admiral Claw in damage and control. I don't have him. Yeah, I mean, damage and control. I don't have him, so I don't know how good he is at that role, but I mean, we're talking about a Nightmare exclusive, or ancient exclusive Nightmare Lord. So, yeah. Gong, he provides a different niche, but he provides a great Lord skill for chaotic units. Cyrus, great Lord skill and great niche. He's a really good tank and builds BP really well in GVG. Yeah, it's hard to justify going for this guy because he seems similar to somebody like Soul Cadence, just not as strong. And that's just on reading his kit. Could he perform much better than what it's looking like here? Yes, he could. But still, we're talking about, in my opinion, Soul Cadence is not that desirable for me because all he really provides is damage. He doesn't do anything else, and he's not even the top of the line damage. He does really good damage, don't get me wrong. He is a top end damage dealer, but when you're talking about the best damage dealers, he's not in the question. He's not there, and I don't think Ragnar will be either, which is, like I said, a bit disappointing. So I am going to be pulling for him. I have around 50 ancients. Okay, so there's a new update for the client, so there's that. I will be pulling for them. I will be pulling for both of them. I'll pull one Lego for Yuri. Hopefully it's Yuri. And I will pull all of my ancients because it's just building Lord Pity. I don't expect to get anything on that. Like I said, I only have about 50. That's saved up from what I had. And that's where we're going to go with that. Should you pull Yuri? It depends. Do you have Hatsu? Hatsu, I believe, Hatsu is better. In single target, or in burst, period. She's better. But if you don't have Hatsu, I think Yuri could fill a similar niche for single target. Not necessarily multi-target, for single target. She does do some multi-target with her orb. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. But that is a place that she could fill. She definitely seems like she's going to be interesting to use. I do want her. I do want to play around with her, so that means I probably won't get her. But I'm going to try for her. And then Ragnar, honestly, I would say, judging on my initial read of his kit, unfortunately, for the average player, average person who doesn't have Praetus, doesn't have Ingrid, who is just waiting for them to come back around, you're probably better off saving for one of those or waiting for somebody else to come out. Because we do see that Chaotic Lords, they have 2 Ancient Exclusive Lords. Arbiters only have 1. Who knows if they're going to come out with another Arbiter Ancient Exclusive Lord. Well, it's going to be Ancient Exclusive, obviously, Arbiter faction. But who knows if they're going to come out with another legendary Lord for them. So there is always the possibility of that. That's just looking at things in the future. Also, another thing to plan for in the future. We do have Basilbub's artifact chase going on starting like Wednesday of next week, or earlier potentially. It might even be Monday of next week. That almost guarantees Beelzebub will be on the banner next weekend. You're not going to be able to get his artifact without being able to get him first. So he is going to be on the next week's banner. I can almost guarantee you that. We have seen leaks saying as much previous to them having that timeline, but before the leaks came out, I had already assumed that he was going to be available around next weekend because of the timing of the release of his artifact. So Beelzebub, excellent unit. He is definitely a should pull. So you may want to save if that's the case. Also, Valentine's Day is going to be next week or next month, and Watcher did really well with Valentine's units last year. They're going to try and capitalize on that again. It's a good business decision for them. So the units that are released around Valentine's Day, which there are speculations of what it is, apparently Lubu and his partner, I don't know anything about them, but apparently that's who it's looking like it's going to be. And if they do anything like they did with Lust and Arrogance, they're going to be excellent units. Just straight out. They're going to be great units, and one of them is more than likely going to be a limited time. So you want to save at least 200 summons for that, and you probably want to save for a secondary one. So there's a lot of good potential units coming up, and there's a lot of reasons to save and not go for Yuri, because she doesn't seem like she's super OP. She doesn't seem like top of the line. That's not a bad thing, though. Not every new unit should be OP. Not every new unit should push that meta farther and farther. That is how power creep gets out of control and games snowball out of control. I've personally dealt with that with a D&D campaign, actually. But besides the point. End of the day, should you pull? It depends on your account, and it depends on what you need. If you don't need a piercer that does normal damage and a little bit of AoE damage, don't pull for her. It's just as simple as that. She's great as a nightmare unit, she's great as a piercer unit, but she's not better than Silas, she's not better than Hatsu. So there's that. And she doesn't perform, I can guarantee you she doesn't outperform Nyx in that long range AoE. So there's other units that fill the small niches that she kind of tries to squeeze her way into. Ragnar, like I said, doesn't look like he's going to be Praetus level. He doesn't look like he's going to be Valderon level. He doesn't look like he's going to be Ingrid level. Those are reasons not to pull for Ragnar. I will be pulling on both because I don't take my own advice, but that is what I'm going to say, and I will leave it at that. Again, sorry it has been a minute since I have put a video out. It's been a very busy week. I do have my Apocalypse 2 and Apocalypse 1 runs from last weekend recorded. I do have them unlisted on my page currently, just the run, no fast forward, nothing crazy. I show the gear off a little bit in the beginning, but it's just music in the background. So I will be uploading those or posting those, but first I do want to get a voiceover on explaining the beginning of the run and get that uploaded first. And then what I'll do is I'll post links to the unedited, so to say, versions. The edited versions, I will play the fight at like 4 times speed because they are long fights. So if you just want to see a gist of everything, the ones with the voiceovers will be the better ones to go for and watch. If you want to see the mechanics and how I do it and you don't care about me talking in it, the unedited long version of the video will be the way to go. But that will do it for this video. If this helped you out at all, definitely like it if you want and subscribe for future content. And I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.